Hey guys, so today I'm going to be working on doing a shipping container build. Now I know I wanted to keep it to just 2 containers in size. I didn't want to do anything bigger than that, and I wanted to keep them all on the same level as well. And I really thought it would be a great idea to have a pass-through between them in some way. So I just started off putting 2 of them long ways side by side. Again, I wasn't sure exactly how I wanted to do this, but this is where I started. I put a door on each end and just began there. I wanted to start after I put the walkthrough on. After I put the walkway on, I got started working on the kitchen. For some reason, that just seemed like the easiest place for me to start. And I went through and picked some bright colored cabinets just so that they would make the room a little bit brighter and pop a little bit more. And I wanted to keep the kitchen confined down to one end. I didn't want to make it very long. But I also wanted to make sure it was a decent sized kitchen. And I had been working for a little bit there before I realized that I didn't have any light in there, and it made it a little bit harder to see. So I went ahead and put some lights in really quick. Of course, I'll change those around later. I also wanted to start off by putting a few accent pieces like a bowl of fruit and the utensil container as well. And then I just stuck with the traditional normal plain white trash can. The next thing I started working on was the dining room, and I tried several different things with this, but I ended up going with either a 3-person or a 4-person table. I wanted to try and get a bathroom in each of the containers, but I wasn't quite sure how that would play out, so I started with a toilet and a tub and a sink in container 1. It took me a little bit to organize it how I wanted, in a way that would make it fit decently well. And originally I thought about putting a bedroom in the same container as the kitchen and the dining room. And so that's what I'm working on here. Just working on rearranging things, trying to figure out the best way to place it all. I realized the way they were placed on the lot wasn't how I wanted them, and I thought that it would be better suited for them to be parallel to each other on their long ends instead of on their short ends. So I end up flipping both of those around to where they can be parallel that way and have a wider walk-through area. So this is where I'm trying to figure out how to get a bedroom in this crate with the kitchen and dining room. Honestly, I don't even know why I thought that would be a good idea at the time. I just was trying to go with it, but you guys will see in just a minute I end up taking that whole end off and redoing that to the living room and office area. Now that table is the one that I end up keeping throughout, and that's the one I end up with in the end. I think once I put the bed in, I realized that just wasn't going to be a sufficient layout for a double bedroom, because my idea was to have that be the master bed originally. And then my plan with the other container was to have 2 children's bedrooms with a Jack and Jill bathroom in between them. So I divided the container into 3 sections and started working on the first bedroom. And I just did a girl's room and a boy's room. Thought I'd just keep it simple that way. I didn't have a particular Sims family I wanted to move in here. This is when I realized I was just going to make the children's rooms a lot smaller and just have them be 3 by 2 and have their Jack and Jill bathroom be 3 by 2 as well. In this build, I decided just to do clawfoot tubs for the baths. I just really like how that looks. It's more classic look than a shower is. And this is when I move the master bed and the other bathroom to the second container. After looking at the way it was laid out, I realized that the master bath could be reshaped and then to give the master bedroom a better layout. And I could just copy the kids' Jack and Jill bathroom and give the master bathroom 2 by 3 as well. I guess it's 2 by 4. And I was able to have the bed and a dresser in there as well. For the girls' room, I went with a light purple to match the bed. For the boys' room, I did blue, and then the bathroom, I did a brick that would be neutral for both of them. In the adults' room, I did a gray, or in the master bedroom, I did a gray, as well as in that bathroom as well. And then in both of the bathrooms, I just did a white tile floor. I thought it gave it a really nice look. And then in the bedrooms, I wanted them all to have the same flooring, and so I ended up going with the brown wood flooring. Now the windows took me a little while to figure out. I tried too big of windows at first, and I just really did not like how they were looking. So I ended up going with a more traditional window. And after trying big windows and small windows, I finally found the ones that I thought would work the best for this build. And I made the choice not to put any windows on the walk-through side, just because that would be an open area already. And I really didn't feel like it would be necessary. So this is where I start working on the living room. I just wanted a couch and 2 chairs. Again, back in that one area to make it a nice, cozy movie or TV watching space for the family. And for the first container, the floor, I went with a solid wood for it as well. And I think I ended up going with wood that matched the bedrooms, if I remember right. I wanted this family to have a desk space as well, so I put a desk, computer, and chair in there. I also gave them a bookshelf and an easel, that way they could have some hobbies. And then there just seemed to be an odd open area, and I wasn't quite sure what to do with it. It took me quite a while to figure it out, and I think in the end I ended up putting a treadmill in that open space there next to the kitchen. I did the same windows in the first container as I did the second, that way they would be cohesive. And I guess I did put windows on the walk-through side in the first container, just not in the bedrooms. And then for the walls in the first container, I just went with a gray with a white trim. Now from the front, I wanted each half to be identical, so I put 2 windows on each of the ends, and I made the walk-through overhang go the full length. And then I just worked on putting metal roofing and siding on, since this is a shipping container. Or at least, I mean, the metal roof is a metal roof, but the siding is, I'm not sure what siding it is. I know it's not officially metal, but it looks as close to metal as I could get it. For the walkway in between both of the houses, I ended up doing a multicolored brick. I really thought that would, or not brick, stone. Sorry. I did a multicolored stone. I thought that gave some nice contrast, but also tied everything together nicely. Again, it took me a few different tries of trying to decide which siding would look the most metal-esque, and I finally go with this white one here at the end. So then I realized that the house is not where I want it on the lot, so I ended up moving it to a different spot and then extending that walkway out to the front of the house, and also giving an overhang in the front as well. I really like having the 2 containers with the walkway through it. It makes the house look a lot larger than it is, but it also gives it a covered open outdoor area. And I just think that's a really neat concept for this build. Then I started playing around with some of the landscaping, putting some shrubs out front, and just playing with different things that could go here and there. I also wanted them to have a grill area. I thought about putting a fire pit, but it just didn't work out for the yard. So I got rid of it and added a pool instead. And I decided to add a few floaties in there for aesthetics and fun. And then I wanted the yard to be fenced in. For some reason I just really like fencing my yards in. I guess it just keeps everything closed off and private. And so I fenced in the backyard, and then I even put a gate and a fence in front of the front part of the house. Again, just to keep it more secure and blocked off. Then I just take several minutes just working with different landscaping ideas and rearranging the backyard just to make it more aesthetically pleasing. I do also add a rock area where the grill is, and it's the same rock that I used in the walkway just to tie everything together. And I like putting trees in the backyard. I like how it looks, but then when you're moving everything around and you can't see it, it always bugs me. So I kept it in for this build, but then later I had redecorated the inside for a vampire family, and I ended up taking the tree out and making the house very gothic looking. Outside, inside, the fence, even the pool. I just made it all a lot more gothic and not normal. And then I just made sure to add some blue color to the walls and floor of the pool just to give the pool a little bit extra blue. I also put a planting box on each side of the house and a swing set. Since there's 2 kids' bedrooms, I thought it would be appropriate to have something for them to play on other than the pool. I thought one of the play sets would just be too big. So then I go back a little bit later after thinking about it, and I put glass flooring on top of the walkway all the way down. Not only to give more light, but it also just looks really nice. I think it gives it just that nice extra aesthetic. Anyways, that's all I've got for you guys. I really hope you enjoyed this build. I love you, and I'll see you next time.